So, I'm a normal Mumbai boy, born and brought up here, lived here and stayed here throughout my life. I finished after my school from Aryavidya Mandir. I did my commerce, Bachelor's of Commerce, BCom from Narsi Monji College of Economics and Commerce. After that, I did my post-graduation from SP Jain Institute of Management and Research in Mumbai in the program for entrepreneurship, which is called as Family Managed Business. It was the pioneer in the education of entrepreneurship, specialized towards family businesses for generations that they have, and to professionalize, to groom, because there was no formal education for such setups. After doing this, I completed it in 2006, and since then I'm here. Before I joined this organization, I was already coming here part-time during my graduation days. So after the college, I used to go part-time, and I was under administrative training and operational training in various fields. So I started with areas like finance and accounts, MIS structures, compiling management reports, especially on sale, on collections, on inventory, followed by marketing operations, like how to execute all the marketing strategies that you devise. Execution also needs its own skill sets and its own preparations. While doing so, I learned a lot of things about technology. And being young, I was very technological savvy. I enjoyed looking at different products. And, at that time, this platform was available to me. And the industry was booming, where India was just starting to, between 2000 to 2006 was a phase where there was an explosion of the IT industry. I always had passion for technology, so I made my decision to enter in this field. And I've enjoyed ever since. I don't think I would call it challenges for joining in the initial days. Rather, it was more of a personal challenge, that how do you make sure that you treat this organization, this work, as independent as you have probably joined a fresher in any other company. Because it is very easy for a family member to join an organization and take the helm without understanding the nitty-gritties of the operation. So I think personally, I took it as a challenge to make sure that demarcation between the two very clearly, and until I learn the operations, the business nuances, keep this very professional in nature. So one of the first steps that I took was to call Mr. Pansari, not address him with a relation or anyone in the organization for that matter. Honestly, I did not look at what I wanted to change, because I don't think that I was smart or I understood business well enough to make changes. It was about 15 or 16 years old. The organization, 1989 to 2006, is already a 17-year-old journey. And it has come to a stage where I don't think I have the insights to bring what changes. But the next few years, I only concentrated upon how the business is done and what we do. And what improvements can we bring to the table during my learning, the process of learning. That's when it was really around 2009, 2010, when I started understanding the businesses. The changes started happening, or bringing about those changes came into picture, because forming organization structures, putting strategic decisions and long-term, short-term goals in place. I think these were the few key charters that we put down along with the team. so that we are not just working from day to day, but rather than looking at the goal that we wanted to achieve and work towards that, so that we are more constructive and more. Otherwise, we are only doing what comes to our table and how things are being running. So you tend to be reactive rather than being proactive in that approach. So I think initially I did not look at what changes I could make, but I could give my inputs and insights about where do I see opportunities and the pitfalls for the organization. And those, I think, really took a drastic step. So, for example, we were working on Tally back in the days, but then we decided on moving to an ERP system because Tally, you can only do so much. By the time you analyze data, you are way ahead of your curve already. So I think data-driven approach was one input that I could visualize and was implemented very positively by the entire organization. So in current scenario, especially due to pandemic, the challenges, there's so many challenges that are thrown at you all at once. And because with every challenges obviously presents immense opportunities. And as long as you continue to address those challenges, opportunities will keep presenting to you at the same time.
Right.
The biggest challenge is that our technology is evolving from the PC point of view, from the performance standpoint. For example, we used to call as from Celeron, from Pentium CPUs to Celeron CPUs to journey to i3, and we used to measure the performance from the gigahertz. So earlier it was megahertz. So 1 megahertz to 2 megahertz to 5 megahertz to 10 megahertz to like that the performance was measured. But now the performance is separate, but application and the use case has taken far more control over the technology that is required. Otherwise, you can power an i9 CPU for anything and everything; it will work the best. But does it really suit the cost to performance ratios? Very evidently now taken. So, a job that takes care for Celeron will continue to drive Celeron, understanding those technologies. The second biggest opportunity in this is that IT is no longer just IT. IT has converted into the backbone of our everyday life. Whether it is work, whether it is entertainment, whether it is our personal life, whether it is research, whether it is process, everywhere it is IT. Yeah, you take IoTs and smart to our living rooms and our personal lives, enabling our homes in a very different way. Work from home, from remote connect there with COVID scenarios. Not everyone has the capability of doing conferences like we do. If you look at average Indian homes or average employees, they are all crammed into small spaces. So how do we rejig those technology, enable our people to be able to deliver even from remote operations and remote work? So the opportunity lies in selling many more things of accessories, the headsets, security, putting security around it to maintain secrecy, privacy, data protections in place. We are pioneered in the space of component, peripherals, PCs, networking. Now we are focusing heavily on the enterprise space. So enterprise, now we are working with some very large niche players in the field of servers and storage, giving a very specialized solutions to education institutes, to manufacturing, to research and development, driving AI, deep learning based algorithms to do their research and developments. I think AI and deep learning is one of the key drivers, or probably will change the face of the way we work, the way we approach towards any problem solving, every organizations will probably have to inculcate a part of AI for their approach. And that's one of the new technologies that we are working. And that will also drive a lot of consumption for components, especially in the semiconductors, development kits that are there from. These are a few examples that are driving and changing the way that we do operate in the IT industry. So Rashi has already got into cloud distribution but instead of going the traditional way of acquiring and doing business in the Arpitec, we've acquired a different company called ZNet Technologies Private Limited. They are based out of Jaipur, and we have majority stake in that. It's a subsidiary of Arpitec.
Okay.
And they are specialized in cloud service provider. Okay. They provide infrastructure service and some SaaS-based services to their customers, which is everything tracked online, everything managing from their migration of data to onboarding them to scaling and giving cloud services is being done through that platform. We have servers in India and outside India. They are a cloud service provider. So we do not have our own data center, but we are service provider. See, data centers are provided by Amazon's, Microsoft, Alibaba, IBM. All these players have large infrastructures for providing the data center to provide the service. End of the day, when you have everything cloud, you don't have anything to deliver to a customer. So what you can add to deliver to the customer is to add a service on top of it. And this is what this company does. So they take as a partners we are distribution partners for these companies, and then we sell to the channel partners and help them service their end customers to deliver cloud deployment within their organizations. So as small as probably 5 people organization to an enterprise class, we are giving them solutions in infrastructure, in backup, in disaster recovery, etc. Our mantra at Arpitec is that life is a journey. Your work is also a journey.
Okay.
You keep working, you keep making short-term, long-term goals, and you keep evolving and keep running. Okay. Not a day goes by where we have to sit and we can relax. You take a break. But life is a journey. Work is also a journey. You cannot stop. You cannot be complacent. And once you do that, that's when sets the tone of regular and consistent growth. Otherwise, once you get 50% and then you are satisfied, next year what happens? Then it will go down. And in IT industry in today's time, growth is the only way of survival.
True.
If you don't grow, then you will not survive.
True.
So you don't have a choice but to continue to grow. Keep finding, you have to keep innovating yourself in various fields, keep on adding new product, new geographies, new technologies, new solutions to continue.
Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.